So do not fear कि आउटकम क्या होगा किसी भी चीज़ का, बिकॉज यू नेवर नो कि आउटकम जो था वॉज इट गुड फॉर यू और नॉट. लाइक when you tie the outcome of a situation to what you're going to do in the future, what happens अगर वो situation resolve नहीं हो पाती और वो outcome नहीं आता, तो आपका जो future plans हैं you think they will be laid to waste. However, always remember that your plans are never laid to waste. There is this particular timeline that you are following, and you are going to follow that timeline, and all the things that you need to follow that timeline and those events in that timeline that need to happen will happen. So if you think that you have planned something out और इसके बेस पे तुम कुछ करोगे, you never know that. क्योंकि अगर वो चीज़ हो जाती है तो that was supposed to happen. अगर वो चीज़ नहीं होती तो something else was supposed to happen, क्योंकि you were not supposed to go down that timeline, क्योंकि उसका आउटकम तुम्हारे हाईएस्ट गुड के लिए नहीं होगा. सो जब तुम अपने किसी भी सिचुएशन की आउटकम को रिजल्ट्स के साथ अटैच करना बंद कर दोगे, यू विल फाइंड दैट यू विल लिव इन द प्रेजेंट. देन तुमको ये डर नहीं लगेगा कि यार अगर ये इस वजह से रिजॉल्व नहीं होगा, अगर मेरे को ये चीज़ नहीं मिलेगी तो फिर मैं आगे कैसे प्लान करूँगा. आगे यू वर नेवर सपोज टू प्लान इफ़ दिस थिंग इज़ नेवर सपोज टू हैपन. वो तुम्हारी टाइमलाइन में है ही नहीं, तो तुम चाहे कितनी भी प्लानिंग करोगे. सी, दिस इज़ हाउ योर माइंड प्लेज ट्रिक्स ऑन यू एंड इट टाइज यू टू माया. दिस इज़ वॉट हैपन्स. क्योंकि आपने अपने आप को उस बॉक्स के अंदर बांध दिया है. रिमेंबर द बॉक्स, यू बी लाइक द थ्रेड हैंगिंग. चाहे एक ही चीज़ है आपको जो हैंग कर रही है, विद द फेथ दैट यू हैव कि समथिंग गुड इज गोइंग टू हैपन. डोंट बी लाइक दैट बॉक्स, क्योंकि यू बाइंड एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग, वी बाइंड आवर सेल्व्स इन टू दैट बॉक्स बाय thinking about things, by looking at situations that are currently here, and then we tie ourselves to the outcome of that situation, and then we plan based on that outcome. Do you see how you are living in the future still? You are not even living in the present. You already have thought about 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 6 months from now, 1 month from now. You don't even know what's going to happen next. It is good to plan, it is always good to plan, but do not only rest on the solution, on the outcome of that plan. Because if the outcome is not per your perception of how the outcome should be, what is going to happen is that you will feel that you have failed. And this is the ego. The ego will say, oh look, you planned, oh look this. You don't know what's going to happen. Just remember that the events that are marked in your timeline, the one which is for your highest good, you have multiple timelines, multiple timelines. However, you will only walk across one timeline which is for the highest. Again, you will walk across the timeline which is for your highest good only if you decide that you want your highest good. If you let your ego self shrink so much that it no longer affects your decisions on how and what you want to do, that's what's going to happen. But however, if you let your ego self take over, you will take paths down the timeline which might take you anywhere, and then you fall back into the spiral that you're trying to come out of, the fractal. You start at the beginning and then you go down and down and down. So instead of moving up the chain, you're moving down the chain. Just think of a tornado. Like it starts from up and it goes up, 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 up. सो इंस्टेड ऑफ मूविंग आउट, बाहर निकलने के बजाय तुम उस चीज़ में और घुसोगे. क्यों? क्योंकि तुम अपने माइंड को, अपनी ईगो सेल्फ इज़ वन एंड योर कॉन्शियस अनकॉन्शियस और सबकॉन्शियस सेल्फ इज द अदर. ईगो सेल्फ को तुमने कंट्रोल करने दिया, जो कि तुम्हारे माइंड को इस वजह से बनाएगा कि तुमको कन्फ्यूजन हो जाएगा कि अरे यार मेरा आउटकम ये हुआ नहीं, इसकी वजह से ये जो चीज़ है, रिलेशनशिप है या जो प्रोजेक्ट है, या तो ये जो मैंने तो आगे ये करना था, ये करना. इट्स नॉट गोइंग टू वर्क लाइक दैट. You are going to itself push yourself into so much of depression that is going to lead to problems. इसके लिए अपना जो outcome है, you do not tie your happiness to the outcome of any situation, because you don't know what the outcome will be. And when you tie your happiness to a situation, you have already locked your ego self with the outcome of the solution, and that will be, then you won't be happy. Agar if it's not the way you wanted it to be. And you, by you I mean air quotes you, it's your ego self. It's not your higher self. Your higher self knows कि सब कुछ छोड़ दो भगवान पे, वो खुद करेगा. Universe is going to place all those people and all those things within your path, within that timeline that you're supposed to walk, which is for your highest good. But you have to let go and walk on that path. You have to control your mind. You have to let go of the ego self. That is the only way you can actually walk on the path that the universe really wants you to walk on. And then you move to the highest self. Because if you are letting your ego take control, you will walk on the path which the mind thinks is best. And we know that the mind can only think so much. However, if you let the universe walk in front of you, like the example of the person traveling from point A to point B, you only see like 200 or 100 feet of the road with the road lights. But yet you know that you will make that journey, that 10-hour, 20-hour, 40-hour, 100-hour journey. Because you can only see so much. Even an airplane for that matter, traveling from one place to the other, thousands of miles. You only see so much in front of you. Your ego self is that who only sees so much. However, if you think that that is the only thing that you need to see, if your ego self convinces you that that is the only thing you need to see, that is the only thing you will see, and you don't even know where you're going. However, if you let the universe steer you in that direction, think of it like a ship in water. Let the universe steer that for you. Let the universe steer your ship in the direction, in the timeline. Let it fix, have those guardrails around you so that you can walk, or you can drive, or you can fly, or you can sail on that path that the universe sets for you. Do not tie your happiness to the outcomes of situations, because if the outcome is not what you expected, you will not be happy and you will become unhappy. Once when you become unhappy, you start vibrating at a lower level. What happens? You attract more things that are going to put you in that vibration, which is going to make you unhappy. And the law of attraction kicks in. It doesn't know whether good or bad. It doesn't care. So, the main thing in today's recording would be, do not attach your happiness and your blissfulness and your serenity and your calmness, your mental peace to the outcome of any situation. Because if it is meant to be part of your timeline, you're supposed to go through that event, you will go through that event. Leave that resistance which is within you. The resistance of tying that outcome to your happiness. That is the resistance. Because you're pushing yourself. Oh my God, what if it doesn't happen? Human mind. It's like, flight or flight mechanism. You think of something which is not going the way you want it to happen, and you'll be like, oh my God, look, this happened. No, don't give out those vibes. Just say, universe, whatever is the outcome of any situation in my life, please give me the mental strength to separate my happiness from the outcome. And let me walk on the path that leads me to my higher good. It may or may not include things which I think are the best for me. But please lead the way and let me walk on that path. Let me walk on that timeline. Let me fulfill my destiny using the timeline, using that path which is for my highest good. If it is for my highest good, if I can reach my highest self, let me attract all the people who will help me reach that highest good. And only those people. That's what it is.